mixed close, isn't it?
Absolutely a mixed close, because like you were mentioning, S&P 500, Nasdaq surely managed to see those record high levels, closing at near those levels. But Dow Jones, that's been declining in the last couple of trading sessions. Dow Jones even yesterday closed with cuts of almost 0.1% in trade. And as of now, when you're looking at the futures, also a bit of a muted move that's coming in on the futures front. Now, overall, what happened over in the US market when you're looking at it? S&P 500, Nasdaq closing with positive gains. S&P 500 up almost 0.1%, Nasdaq up 0.1% as well. And mainly what was pulling up the Nasdaq was the Nvidia stock that saw a sharp uptick coming in, 2.5% uptick, which was actually offsetting the declines that were there in the other chip stocks. Other than that, Tesla also managed to see strong gains of around 3 to 4%, while Microsoft was one of those companies which was actually seeing a decline. Nasdaq managed to gain for the sixth consecutive day, while S&P 500 was gaining for the fifth consecutive day. A lot of optimism around the AI and those stocks which have been buzzing is something that is keeping these two indices on the positive side. What we're watching out for is now the US Fed Chair Jerome Powell actually said that the lawmakers will be more in terms of they look out for data points, and if the economic data points are going to be positive, then they are okay to be cutting rates. So surely on the rate cut front also that everyone is keeping an eye out on. That means the inflation target is of the 2% mark is something that they will start achieving. Then we could see those rate cuts coming in. Other than that, let's just look at the European markets. They do close before the US markets, but European markets closed a bit weak. DAX closed down almost 1.3% in trade. FTSE was also down 0.6% in trade. So yes, we saw some bit of a pressure that came in yesterday in terms of the European market. Shares like BP, Novo or Nordisk, all of them fell in trade, and because of that we saw some bit of a pressure overall on stocks 600 also, that was down almost 1% in trade. So that's how we're seeing the global cues coming in, Cheryl, and mainly European was weak, so we'll keep an eye out on that, because how the opening happens for Indian markets is something to watch out for. As of now, implied open is also quite muted that you're looking at.
Absolutely muted coming in for implied open, and also you have the Asian markets also, they're not participating in this particular move, so that's why you see the reflection on the GIFT Nifty indication as well. But also crude markets also, it's a different picture that you saw yesterday as well as this morning. So if you talk about yesterday particularly, you had the oil prices that eased more than 1%. This after the traders actually figured out that the prolonged supply disruption from the Hurricane Beryl was unlikely after the US oil producing hub in Texas suffered less storm damage than was feared. Remember that if you look at Texas, it actually accounts for more than 40% of the crude supplied in the United States, which is the world's top producer. This morning, if you look at the crude prices, it's a different picture. Like I said, the oil prices have rebounded this following 3 days of decline. This because of the industry report showed that the US crude and the fuel stockpiles have fallen last week, which indicates a steady demand, and the outlook coming in for interest rates also have actually gone ahead and improved. If you look at the API figures, it showed that the crude stocks were down by about 1.92 million barrels in the week ended July 5th. As well as the gasoline inventory figures fell by about 2.9 million barrels. So it was a better picture coming in, and that's supporting the prices today, and that's one of the reasons why you're seeing the oil prices actually see an up move. And also you had the Jerome Powell's comments coming in, which suggested that the case for the interest rate cuts is becoming stronger, and that lower interest rates should spur more economic growth and therefore also improve oil consumption. So that's the way how the picture is looking, at least for the crude market. Yesterday it fell, but today it is up.
Okay, that's the picture for the crude market, but a lot of events and cues that we're watching out for today as well. On the domestic front, we do have the assembly buy polls for 13 seats, so keeping an eye out on that. US wholesale inventory data will be coming out on the global front, as well as the API weekly crude oil stock. That is also something that we are watching out for. On the domestic front, a lot of AGMs you're watching out for. Emphasis, Crompton Greaves Consumer Electricals, Shoppers Stop is what one should keep an eye out on. While in terms of Q1 numbers, Tata Elxsi as well as Kesoram Industries will be reporting their Q1 FY25 numbers. Other than that, you do have two new IPOs that will be listing today. Bansal Wise will be listing, as well as Emcure Pharma. So keep an eye on both these stocks as well on the back of their listing today. Lock-in period will be ending for Assist Health So that is the one to watch out for in terms of any move that we see after this lock-in period for around 6% of the equity stake ends today. I beg your pardon. On the other domestic front, we also have Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit that is going to be in Austria now, and any talks on that front, keep an eye on that. Piyush Goyal will be talking at the FICCI's National Executive Committee meeting. So all that is important to watch out for, and two important block deals that are expected today, Delivery as well as Mankind Pharma. So keeping an eye out on all of that.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.